Welcome everybody to episode 7 of Digital for Everyone. We are here tonight with Deandre Wilson. She's a YouTuber. She's going to teach us how to get started on YouTube. Welcome Brits SX. How are you doing tonight? Nikita Chiquita, welcome. We're just waiting for Deandre to join us. For those of you who know and don't know Digital for Everyone, Alicia, welcome. Digital for Everyone is a short 30-minute live, welcome Deandre, that covers specific topics in digital marketing. It covers the wide range of things. So there's so many that it's hard to do it all in one session. So we pick just tiny segments at each day and go through that. Welcome Deandre, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm great actually. How are you?
I'm good. You have much better lighting than I do, but we will work with this.
Okay.
So I see your followers are joining in because I don't know any of these names, so you're a popular lady, it seems.
Okay.
So how are you doing today?
I'm good. Just doing what I do, trying to make content, trying to do my
Is that something you do every day?
For the most part, yeah. If I'm not filming, trying to edit or trying to just do something, so that I have content to post.
Okay. So it is a full-time job then,
Yeah,
sort of.
pretty much, honestly.
Welcome, staff. Welcome, Alexis. So for those of you who don't know, Deandre Wilson is a 23-year-old YouTuber and digital content creator. She started a YouTube channel in 2013. Welcome, Scorio. She's grown her platform to over 28,000 subscribers. So I don't know, I can't think of any local people who've grown a YouTube channel that large locally. I mean, doing it manually as yourself, that aren't part of a larger brand or something like that. And Deandre, your content is based mostly on your natural hair, beauty, and lifestyle tips and advice.
Yep.
Okay. So Deandre is here to tell us about how to start a YouTube channel and sort of make it successful. Because I think a fair number of people know how to start one, but really, the work that goes into making it, live and last as long as yours has. This is your 7-year anniversary now.
Yeah, it's about to be, in September.
Yeah, you're gonna put it back into this now. All right, so Deandre, I'm handing it over to you. Take it away. Tell me, how do I start a YouTube channel?
Okay, thank you for having me. Thank you for even, thinking of me for this topic. Okay, so I do have a few points. So I'll just jump right into it. So the first one, you're thinking about starting a channel. You want to do this because you have, whether you have a business or a brand, you have something that you feel like could be profitable, could be marketable, people may take interest in on this platform. But you have to, just like anything else, if you're going into business, if you're going into any industry, you need to do research. So the key thing here, and the first point, is to study the platform. And I will suggest this across the board, even if you're creating content for Instagram, even if you're creating content for LinkedIn, like anything that you're doing. You have to know the platform because there is a culture associated with every single social media platform, right? And it varies across the board. So I will definitely highly suggest go to youtube.com, look at videos, depending on what type of business you have or what type of brand you want to showcase. You have to know how that would be palatable on a platform like YouTube because it depends, right? So look at the type of content that is relevant right now on a platform like YouTube. Study this thing called algorithms, and it's a huge word, but it's really simple. I think dictionary definition if you guys want. But it's really just like a set of rules. It's a process. It's the way that things work, and it's usually computerized. So it will honestly be important when you want to know what works for this platform. So YouTube has really basic things like prioritizing longer videos. Yeah, because it allows you to have more ads on your videos, so obviously you're able to make more money on their platform.
Okay, so step one, for those of us who maybe not as savvy, so you want to study the platform, you want to see what your competitors are doing in this space, internationally as well. You know, like so for example, your space, which would be like natural hair care and things like that. You want to see what other people are doing and what works. You know, who's the most popular channels and what do they do right?
Right,
Okay, fair
exactly.
enough.
And
Okay.
this point is not about trying to copy, but more
Hmm.
so just, like I said, when you go into any industry, seeing the culture and how it works and how it operates, right? So
Okay.
that's really like, to me, the most important thing. Um, Another aspect of that too is knowing if you are suited for YouTube, because not
Okay. Yeah.
everybody is able to have a YouTube channel and regularly
Mhm.
upload and have content that is relevant for that platform. Just
Okay.
because you see YouTube and it's popping and you want to do it too, doesn't mean that your content is suited for that platform. So I think you
Okay.
have to look into what you want to do, what type of content you want to produce, and uh look around, you know,
Okay.
because your content might be better for Facebook, or it might be better for a podcast, or it might
Mhm.
be better for Instagram because it's like shorter
Right.
types
Bites.
of, yeah, and you don't need to create these long videos and
Okay.
put it on YouTube. So that's super important to, you know, study and pay attention to. The
Sure.
second point is to identify your passions and your strengths.
Right.
I really want to stress this just because it's really easy to take the first point and run with it and just do the most relevant thing, the most popular thing, the most trendy thing, and then you
Okay.
flop, and then you're like, what happened? Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was doing my thing, like, what's happening? But it's because you have not specifically identified your strengths.
Right.
And this is super
Your niche.
important. Yeah, it's super
Mhm.
important because you aren't going to be able to do what I do the way I do it,
For
but you're
sure.
going to be able to do what you do the way you do it, and you're going to
Right.
be able to refine it and make it better, and do it so well that there's no other person that could look like you or sound like you,
Right.
especially
Right.
as you perfect your craft, you know. So as a business, as a brand, as a personal brand, you
Mhm.
really have to introspect. You have to figure out what your identity is, truly who you are, who you represent, this thing called your brand voice. And
Right.
you have to know, how could I showcase the best parts of myself, the best parts of my business,
Mhm.
um, on YouTube, on this platform. And
Okay.
that, yeah, that's super important.
Welcome,
Um,
Jamila Bannister. So she's saying that's what we call branding, baby. Um, so
exactly.
it's essentially it's having that point of view that's unique to you and sticking to it, not just because everybody's reviewing movies, you're reviewing movies all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And even you may fall
Gotcha.
into a tech category or a beauty
Mhm.
category, but it doesn't mean that you have to do the generic, all the
Right.
generic aspects of that category. You can find this unique spot that nobody has really hit yet, which is my next point.
Okay.
You find this unique spot and make that work, and it's really true to you and true to who you are, and it will, you know, it will register to people because it's like, wow, I've never seen this before, this is so cool, this is so different. And
Right.
that's what you want on a platform that's filled with literally hundreds of thousands, maybe even
Awesome.
millions of
Mhm.
creators. In 2020 it's very saturated, and you're not going to be able to please everyone, but when you have something that is tailored to you, you will
Mhm.
attract so many people that feel the same way, right?
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, just simple points here that I had
Sure.
written down is, what are the strengths of your brand from a marketing perspective,
Okay.
and that
Your
is super.
USP then.
Sorry.
Your USP, unique selling proposition.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So you have to think about that, and really tailor it to what you want to show to people. So the
Welcome,
third
Maurice.
point.
Mhm.
Hi.
Sorry.
The
People are
third
just piling in. So.
Yeah. The third point is to solve a problem. I
Mhm.
think people don't think about this often enough, when it comes to the platform.
Mhm.
We don't really know, uh, how to solve problems as much anymore. And even when you speak from a business perspective, that's what a lot of business people are focused on now. Like, it's not necessarily, and a lot of innovators, it's not necessarily about just adding to something that already exists, but it's like, how can I take my own unique spin and use this to solve a problem? And it's the same with YouTube, because at the end of the day, regardless of what you're putting out, it is still going to be a piece of content that is going to help someone in some way, even if it's entertainment, because there are ways to solve problems in the entertainment industry. Like, what are people drawing to now? How could I add to this industry and take my own unique spin and the strengths that I just spoke on and make it a thing? So to me, that's the difference between popularity and influence.
Do you want to speak to that a little bit? What would you see the difference between popularity and influence is really being able to solve a problem?
Honestly, yes, and no. So I would say you don't necessarily have to solve a problem to be influential anymore. I definitely don't think so. We see celebrities do it, whether it is, because at the end of the day, there's positive and negative influence, right? And it's very subjective. It's up to how you interpret that. But there are celebrities now that have tons of influence on the young generation, on everyone. But they're not necessarily solving any kind of problem, right? They're kind of they're popular, but they're also influential. I do think there's a difference. I think popularity could be, very short-lived. It could be something that, like, you have a video that goes viral, or you become a meme, or something like that. And just because that's popular, because you're a meme or you have like one piece of content that goes viral, does not mean that you have influence. It does not mean that people are going to really listen to what you have to say. And that's the real test of influence. Are people listening to what you have to say? Like, do people care about what you have to say? And is there like this call to action that is being sought through? Like, when you tell people, hey guys, go check this out, or hey guys, follow me on here, or hey guys, leave a comment or buy this product. Are people buying it?
Do they actually do it?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Gotcha.
So, the main point in solving a problem, which is the third point, is what can you add to the platform that isn't already there? And this doesn't mean that you have to take this totally unique spin on what you're doing at all. Like I said, as you said, I do beauty and lifestyle content and everything like that. And there's tons of that on YouTube now.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But I had to find I'm Trinidadian, so there's not a lot of Trinidadian natural hair YouTubers. That's like my own little unique spin. And
that's your niche, right?
Yeah, use that to my advantage. Show products and stores and things that may not always be featured on the platform. Things that will benefit people from Trinidad and Tobago. So definitely keep that in mind. The fourth point is to add your own unique spin. And when I say this, I'm really speaking to creativity. So, of course, solving a problem is one aspect, and that's kind of thinking technically, like, okay, how could I, help people in a unique way? But adding your unique spin is, you've found all of these things, you've studied the platform, you've identified your passions, your strengths, you've learned how you could solve this unique problem, and now you want to add, I guess, your own creative touch. You want to know, how could this be spun in a way that people could enjoy? And it goes back to that word I used earlier, like something being palatable, something that people could come across and see and be like, oh, this is interesting. Because realistically, we live in a social media world now that a lot of content is very short and quick, especially with TikTok. Even things on
video
Twitter.
bites.
Like 7-8 second videos. We have 1 minute videos now that people are really, like, they enjoy watching because it's fast and it gets to the point. When it comes to YouTube, it's a much different platform. videos tend to be longer. Videos tend to go from 5 minutes to half an hour, right?
Yeah.
And you have to now use that and find a unique way to gauge people's interest, to make sure that people are still watching, because those things matter.
Okay.
When you want to put content out, what's making people stay? Like, are they falling asleep?
True. I want to add to that. Over the years, different people have come to me and it's like, well, I'm thinking of being a vlogger, and I'm just like, I don't mean this in the wrong way, but why does anyone care what you have to say? And it's a blunt way to think, but you know, what is your unique spin, as you're saying? Alexis is in the chat was asking, can you share the points you're making on your IG story, please? I'm sure that we'll do that afterwards. And then Maurice Burke is dropping in. Unique spin is a big thing. Too many people doing the same things in the same ways. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And again, it's really like all the points to me are very connected, and it's really linear in a way that as you go through each step, you will grow in your brand and your identity, in that foundation that you need to really stand out, and to really own your own space, and to realize that your content, and I always stress this, will not tailor to everyone. It will not be for everyone, but you are guaranteed to find a core group of people that really rock with you, that love you, that, you know, want to watch your content, that love what you do. So I highly, you know, recommend that.
Okay.
And the final point is consistency. And I have to slow down when it comes to this, because your girl is the worst. I do not.
You don't practice what you preach?
Yeah, but there's, I mean, you know, there's always I feel like a step that the teacher says that doesn't really apply to them, but that they know, you know, I need to also listen to my own advice. I'm telling y'all, when it comes to anything that you're doing in life, obviously consistency counts and it matters. When it comes to content, creating content, when it comes to putting something out, do not ever underestimate the importance of being consistent. And this goes to any stage that you're at. For me, I have this whole perfectionist thing where it's like, this thing needs to be absolutely amazing
before it goes out.
And that can hold you back so much, especially, if you're not, because your mind is not in a place where it's like, I will grow. It's a process. I will get there. It's more about, I need to be perfect and I need to put it out now. But regarding perfection, though it doesn't really exist, pseudo perfection or whatever comes close, it takes time as well. To get to any great place in life takes time. So if you're waiting till you get there to put anything out, you put things out like once every 6 months.
I wanna add to that. Jenna Marbles. I admittedly, I'm not I don't follow a lot of people on YouTube. But I noticed that Jenna Marble, she would consistently put out a video every Wednesday. And, you know, a lot of people only see her sort of now, she's famous and things like that. I have no idea what happened to her recently, but, you know, if I bet if any one of us was to go to the first video any of these people uploaded, and you look at the difference in quality, like miles of improvement over weeks, you know.
I'm ashamed to show people my first video.
no, but you know, you look back and you know, every day you do a video, every day I do an Instagram live. I look back and think, gosh, you know, I wish my first live had been so much better. But you grow, and you will, you know, you grow like that. Consistency, I think I was surprised to actually see you put it as your sort of like last point, because to me, when a client or anyone has ever come to me and said, we want to do video blogs, I was like, are you ready for that commitment? That's not we're going to do it once a week, you know, for 6 weeks maybe, and then if it's good, we'll continue. It's like, no, you have to give people time to start to care about your thing.
You have to, and I think anybody who has like a high standard for something and you really value quality, you're very hard on yourself, and you often feel like things need to be great before anybody can see it. And I have to say that's like one of the biggest things to hinder your progress. And you just can't. You have to be like, yo, I'm gonna give this my best right now and put it out.
Yeah.
And there are things that I never thought would do well from like moons ago, that looking back I'm like but people loved it, people still enjoyed it, people still wanted to see and hear what I had to say. And that's super important. And I've seen people who, to me, I see that they still have a way to go with, you know, their production and their quality and doing different things. But they have grown so much because they just decided,
do it.
My video quality may not be the best, my audio quality may not be the best, but I'm putting it out and people are gonna watch it, you know?
So Maurice is adding to that. If you're waiting until you get good, you never will. It takes trying to get good. So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
We have a couple questions. Carly Communications wants to know, what are your thoughts on YouTube ads? It's not something we were going to cover, but I mean, we have some time if you want to get into ads / monetization.
Okay. If that's the question, because I'm just wondering, you know, what about YouTube ads? Like,
sure.
If she could specify a little bit, that would be great. But
Carly, if you want to give a little more information, but while we're waiting on Carla to respond. So guys, we're here today with Deandre Wilson, YouTuber, 28,000 plus followers. She's teaching us about how to start a YouTube channel and the key points that we've gone over. Study the platform and your category and kind of what those people are doing. Look at what you see works, what doesn't work. Secondly, identify your passion and strengths. So, you know, what do you really have a lot to say about? A lot that's more than just one video or you know, a couple videos. And your strengths, you know, where are you really strong? Solve a problem. Number 3, if you're just there, you know, talking about things but not really giving your viewer any value, you're not going to be successful. Add your unique spin, you know, take a perspective, take a point of view. So even if you're doing like what Deandre does, she's in the beauty sector, and there's tons of vloggers out there who cover the beauty, who do natural hair, but her unique spin is she's from Trinidad. You know, she will pick a perspective that's a Caribbean and things like that not everybody else would have. And then be consistent. So, you know, being consistent, making sure that if you say, listen guys, every Thursday I'm going to be live at 8, make sure you do that. And it's very difficult for me. I did the first one. I was like, crap, I need to do this every Thursday from now on. So it's consistency is key. We were getting a bunch of questions while I was talking about it. So Maurice Burke, would you like to hear your perspective on monetization?
Okay. So I guess they're asking from a place of
as a content creator, I guess, do you think is it valuable? Is it worth your time?
Okay,
you know,
okay. So that's okay, great. So again, I think some people have this perspective of YouTube that it is this quick money making machine. And I think depending on the way that you perceive the platform and the way you go into it, you could be greatly disappointed. So YouTube is extremely rewarding, but I always tell people this: you have to work for it. Like there is no, unless, and again, I say this a lot, unless you are like this overnight success, you blow up, and people just, and that has happened to maybe a handful of YouTubers across the span of YouTube's lifetime, because it's rare. And so for the average person who's now starting, especially if you don't have a big following prior to starting, it's not going to be super profitable in the start. You're gonna have to invest. It's really like a business. Like you have your own business. You have to invest, whether it's in equipment, it's getting the tools that you need to create the content.
Time, you know.
Time. It is super. It's big in terms of what you have to invest, and again, with these points is where you begin to see the success and where you begin to see how profitable it is for Trinidadians. I know a lot of people ask this question, like, is it possible for people in Trinidad to make money?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, could you be monetized? Yes, there's a way. I would be plain and say that there's a restriction when it comes to being in Trinidad and Tobago, because they don't have the program here in Trinidad.
Yeah.
So you have to do a little loophole. You have to like set your country to the US and then apply for the program, and then they will accept you if you meet the requirements, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And watch time is just how many hours of
people have watched of you.
People have watched your video. So when you meet that, you apply, they approve it, and you could set up an AdSense account, which is a Google account that you get paid from, and it goes straight to like your local bank account. And
okay, so it takes a little bit of work, but it is possible. But as you said, you need to put in the work to even meet their criteria for being monetizable.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Maurice, I hope that answered your question. Carly Communications was asking, do they work? She finds them intrusive, but maybe it's just me. I could probably speak a little bit on this from the advertising side. They work in terms of what your goals are, but success on ads really is dependent on a lot of things like campaign goals and things like that. I would say that if your product is something that needs more explanation than a static ad or a very quick HTML5 ad is, then definitely. But then there's some things like, I don't know if you run into these ads, but every single time I've ever gone onto YouTube in the last 2 years, I've seen a Grammarly ad. Yeah. And I'm never going to buy Grammarly, but they're spending tons of money on trying to convert me. So that's really more on the advertiser side if they're doing their job correctly. I do find them intrusive. I don't know if it impacts Deandre in your content creation or anything like that.
No, because again, it's like my product, the ads go on my product or my content. So
right.
Yeah.
So you just like them. You get a couple dollars.
Yeah, that's it. As a creator, you want ads, you like ads, you benefit. But as a business, if you are looking to advertise on the platform, yeah, I think it's just, I don't know how the back end of YouTube, like how they organize you being able to place your ads or whatever, but I know that they will categorize it. I know that for a fact based on what videos they're putting it on. So
okay. Brits X wants to know, can you give some tips on getting over fair to post the first video? I think we did cover a little bit of this, but you want to give her a little bit of inspo?
Yeah, that's a super real thing, and it happens to very many people who want to start and then they find themselves hesitating because they don't know how it will be received and all of that. I know this is like the worst thing to hear, but I always just tell people, like, just do it. Just start. But I definitely get it. When I had to post my first video, I filmed it, and this was, I mean, years ago, but I was young. I filmed it. I just had it sitting on my computer for like weeks. I didn't really want to do it. If it comes to, you haven't even filmed it yet, you want to know what to post. A lot of people do it like introductory videos, you know, because it warms you up to you know, people that come across your channel and stuff like that. So that's a good starting point, and it could help you just to ease yourself so you don't jump right into just content. It's just like, hi guys, this is who I am, this is what I want to do on my channel. I think that could be a better approach. And
if not, I mean, after you've gotten over the fear of it, you know, really go through the key points we shared today. Study the platform, identify your passion and strengths, solve a problem, add your unique spin, and then be consistent. You know, you're not going to get it right the first time. No one ever does. But you're going to grow and you're going to get better. Jamila Bannister Branding. I'm hoping I got that correct. She says YouTube is on her bucket. It's too much of a commitment for her at the moment, but she says, mad respect, Deandre. Maurice Burke. He says, by the way, this is an excellent person to bring on. Deandre, he's watched your videos and he doesn't wear any makeup. And Jamila uses you as an example all the time. So you have fans You didn't even know.
Oh wow, thank you guys. I appreciate that so much.
So Escorio was asking, what do sponsorship opportunities? Oh, sorry, I lost that. What do sponsorship opportunities look like in Trinidad at the moment? Have you been approached by local sponsors? Has it, you know, what?
Great question.
Mhm.
So this is just my PSA to brands everywhere in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's not a plug for me. It's really just a PSA. Like,
Okay.
guys, use your marketing tools to source influencers and local content creators and digital content creators. It is so profitable now. In terms of myself, I've definitely got approached by small businesses and local brands. And for me, I have a rate card, of course, but I use it to my discretion when it comes to local businesses. So I try to, you know, help out like startups and stuff like that in terms of promoting and that kind of thing. With bigger brands, obviously.
You throw the book at them.
Work with them. Here's my rate card. But either way, I urge you, like, if you do have a business, to look into it and do the research when it comes to marketing and influencer marketing, because brands really don't get it right out here in these streets. Honestly, I could do a whole video on it. But
well, I would love to look at that. I'll give a little bit of perspective, Esco, on our side. I think Deandre hit the nail on the head there, where brands don't always get it right. Just because someone has a lot of followers and a lot of likes on their photos does not mean they are. She actually spoke about it earlier today. Popular versus influential. You can have someone that is not insanely popular, a few things, but when they say, listen, this place is a great place to eat, you know that there's 10 or 15 people who are going to go to that place. Yeah. Similarly, there's beauty influencers who are exactly in the same position. They may not have 1 million followers, but when they say, listen, girls, this is fantastic for my hair, or it worked wonders on whatever area, they're going to influence those few people. And that's how it has to work sometimes. Sometimes that couple $100 spent on an influencer is better than that. You have to do your influencer research. Second point I wanted to make on the influencer stuff is that it's a fledgling thing in Trinidad, and Trinidad agencies all over, so not agencies, brands all over, tend to wait until you make it to then approach you to be a sponsor. You look at all our Olympians; they don't get any sponsorship, any major sponsorship, until after they've done something in the Olympics. And now this sailor is a Ford, brand ambassador now and things like that. So it's unfortunate, but it hasn't grown there yet. Escort.
Yeah.
Amanda is saying that's how you grow as well, both the brand and the influencer. Yeah. But I don't want to dive too much into influencer marketing, because that's a whole other video. Deandre, I think this was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
These were great questions. I think this is the most engaged audience we've had, so I think you'll get quite a bit more followers and views off of this. All right. Guys, next week we have actually Carly Communications, who was on here. She's going to be talking to us about crisis communications, which I think is very important. So we've noticed that, the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and people are doing, all these brands are coming out and communicating things, and some of them are really hitting some missteps, but we'll get into that next week. Deandre, thank you very much again. I just want to go over the quick key points. Study the platform. Identify your passions and strengths. Solve a problem. Add your own unique spin, and be consistent. Amanda is saying to book a part 2. I mean, if you want to, we could definitely discuss it for sure. Thank you very much again, and have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.